Have you ever felt like life is speaking to you, but you're too busy to listen? In the rush of our daily routines, the endless notifications, the pressing deadlines, the noise that surrounds us, we often miss the gentle whispers that could change everything. Today, I want to share a message that might be exactly what your soul needs to hear right now. This isn't just another inspirational story. This is an invitation to pause, to breathe, and to open your heart to something greater than yourself. The power of listening. Before we dive into today's message, let's talk about listening. Real listening is becoming a lost art. We hear sounds all day long, but how often do we truly listen? There's a profound difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is passive. Sound waves hit your eardrums and your brain processes them. But listening is active. It requires intention, presence, and an open heart. When we talk about listening to God, to the universe, or to that inner voice of wisdom, we're talking about something even deeper. We're talking about tuning into a frequency that exists beyond the chaos of everyday life. This kind of listening requires us to get quiet, to turn down the volume on everything else, and to create space for truth to emerge. A story of divine timing. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was a woman who thought she had everything figured out. She had a good job, a comfortable apartment, and a 5-year plan that she followed religiously. On paper, her life looked perfect. But inside, she felt empty. Every morning, she woke up with a heaviness in her chest that she couldn't explain. She pushed through her days on autopilot, convincing herself that this was just what adult life felt like. One Tuesday morning, Sarah's alarm didn't go off. She woke up an hour late, which threw her entire schedule into chaos. She rushed to get ready, spilled coffee on her favorite blouse, and missed her usual bus. Frustrated and anxious, she had to take a different route to work, a route she'd never taken before. On this unfamiliar bus, Sarah sat next to an elderly woman who was reading a worn, leather-bound book. Sarah noticed tears streaming down the woman's face, but there was something peaceful about her expression. Without thinking, Sarah asked if she was okay. The woman smiled and said, "I'm more than okay, dear. I'm grateful. I just finished reading about how every detour in life is actually a divine appointment. Every delay is protection. Every frustration is redirection." Sarah felt those words pierce through her chest. She'd been so angry about her morning going wrong. But what if it had gone exactly right? What if she was meant to miss that bus? What if she was meant to hear these exact words at this exact moment? The woman continued, "You see, we make our plans, and that's good, but there's a greater plan unfolding, one that sees the whole picture when we can only see our small corner. When things don't go according to our schedule, maybe they're going according to a better one." The message for today. This brings us to the heart of today's message. You are exactly where you need to be. I know that might be hard to hear, especially if you're going through something difficult right now. Maybe you're struggling financially. Maybe you're dealing with health issues. Maybe you're heartbroken, lost, or confused about your next steps. But here's what you need to understand. Your current chapter is not your final destination. Think about it this way. When you're reading a book, you don't judge the entire story based on one difficult chapter. You keep reading because you trust that the author has a plan. You trust that the conflict serves a purpose. You trust that resolution is coming. Your life is the same way. The challenges you're facing right now are not punishments, they're preparations. Every obstacle is teaching you something you'll need for the next level. Every setback is setting you up for a comeback you can't even imagine yet. What God wants you to know: 1. Your struggles have purpose. Nothing you've been through has been wasted. Every tear, every failure, every moment of doubt, it's all been shaping you into who you're becoming. The strongest trees grow in the toughest soil. The most beautiful diamonds form under immense pressure. Your difficulties are not evidence that you've been abandoned. They're evidence that you're being refined. Think about caterpillars for a moment. When a caterpillar enters its cocoon, it doesn't just grow wings. It completely breaks down. Its body dissolves into a liquid state before reorganizing into a butterfly. If you opened the cocoon during this process, you'd find nothing but goo. But that goo is not death, it's transformation. Maybe you feel like your life is falling apart right now. Maybe everything you thought was solid has turned to liquid. But what if you're not falling apart? What if you're being reconstructed into something more beautiful than you've ever been? Asterisk 2. Your timing might not be his timing. We live in an instant gratification culture. We want answers now. We want success now. We want healing now. But wisdom operates on a different timeline. Some things can't be rushed. Think about pregnancy. You can't speed up the 9 months no matter how much you want to meet your baby. That time serves a purpose. The baby is developing, growing, preparing for life outside the womb. If you shortened the process, you'd compromise the outcome. Your dreams are the same way. They have a gestation period. You might be in month 6, feeling like nothing is happening, wondering if you'll ever give birth to the vision in your heart. But things are happening behind the scenes. Pieces are being arranged. Doors are being opened. People are being positioned. You just can't see it yet. 3. Your closed doors. Our protection. Sarah's missed alarm wasn't a mistake, it was a message. Sometimes what we perceive as rejection is actually divine protection. The job you didn't get, the relationship that ended, The opportunity that fell through. What if all of that was God closing a door because what's behind it wasn't meant for you? Asterisk, we get so focused on the doors that close that we miss the windows opening beside us. We pound on locked doors, demanding they open, when we're meant to turn around and see the open road behind us. Trust that if a door closes, it's because there's something better ahead. And if it feels like every door is closing, maybe you're meant to build your own door. Maybe you're meant to create something that doesn't exist yet. Your faith will be tested. Here's a truth that doesn't get talked about enough. Right before your breakthrough, you'll face your biggest test. Right before you level up, you'll be tempted to give up. This is the pattern. Think about the Israelites. They wandered in the desert for 40 years. Can you imagine being in year 39, feeling like you'd been walking in circles forever, having no idea that you were 1 year away from the promised land? What if some of them gave up in year 39? You might be in year 39 right now. You might be one decision, one prayer, one day away from everything shifting. But you're so tired, so discouraged, that you're considering giving up. Not now. Not when you're this close. Asterisk, your faith is being strengthened in the waiting. You're learning to trust, not because you see the evidence, but because you know who holds your future. This kind of faith, the kind that believes when there's no reason to believe. This is the faith that moves mountains. 5. Your uniqueness is your power. Stop trying to be like everyone else. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Stop measuring your worth by someone else's standards. You were designed with a specific purpose that only you can fulfill. Think about a choir. Every voice is different. If everyone tried to sing soprano, it wouldn't be beautiful, it would be chaos. The beauty comes from the diversity. The bass, the alto, the tenor, they're all essential. Your voice matters. Your contribution matters. You matter. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs the original you. Your quirks, your struggles, your story, your perspective, these aren't flaws to fix. They're features to embrace. Someone out there needs to hear your voice specifically. Someone needs your story to give them hope. Asterisk, practical steps to hear the message. Understanding this message intellectually is one thing. Living it is another. Here's how to apply these truths to your life. Start your day with silence before you check your phone. Before you dive into your to-do list, spend 10 minutes in silence. Pray, meditate, or simply breathe. Create space to listen. This is when the whispers come in, the quiet moments when you're not drowning them out with noise. Journal your journey. Write down what you're feeling, what you're learning, what you're noticing. Sometimes we miss the miracles because we're not paying attention. Journaling helps you see patterns. It helps you recognize how far you've come. It helps you remember that you've survived 100% of your worst days so far. Practice gratitude, even in difficult seasons. There's always something to be grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. It opens your eyes to the blessings you've been overlooking. Start with 3 things each day. Watch how this simple practice transforms your perspective. Trust the process. Stop fighting the journey. Stop wishing you were further along. You're learning lessons right now that you'll need tomorrow. Embrace where you are while working toward where you're going. Growth happens in the tension between contentment and ambition. Surround yourself with faith. The people around you matter. Are they speaking life or death? Are they encouraging your faith or feeding your fears? You need people who will remind you of the truth when you forget. You need people who will hold you accountable. You need people who will celebrate your wins and support you through your losses. The invitation. So here's the message God has for you today. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Don't believe the lie that says it's over. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too old or too young or too anything. You are right on time for your purpose. Every step, even the backwards ones, has been leading you to this moment. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you'll need tomorrow. The question you're asking is leading you to an answer. The darkness you're walking through is teaching you to trust even when you can't see. This is your time. This is your season. This is your moment to rise, to believe, to push through, to keep going. Everything you've been praying for is closer than you think. Everything you've been working toward is about to break through. But you have to hold on. You have to keep believing. You have to keep showing up, even when it feels pointless. You have to keep choosing faith over fear. A final thought, remember Sarah on that bus. After her conversation with the elderly woman, something shifted inside her. She realized that her carefully constructed 5-year plan was actually a cage. She'd been so focused on following a script that she'd stopped listening to her heart. That wrong bus led to a right conversation. That conversation led to a decision. That decision led to a complete life transformation. Sarah quit her job, pursued her passion for art, and started a nonprofit that helps underprivileged children discover their creative talents. None of that would have happened if her alarm had gone off on time. Your life is like that too. What seems wrong might be exactly right. What feels like an ending might be a beginning. What looks like failure might be the first step toward your greatest success. So listen carefully. Pay attention. Stay open. The message you needed to hear today might come from an unexpected source. It might arrive at an inconvenient time. It might look different than you expected, but it will be exactly what your soul needs. You are loved. You are seen. You are not forgotten. And your story is far from over. In fact, the best chapters haven't even been written yet. Today is a new day. Today is a fresh start. Today is your opportunity to choose faith, to choose hope, to choose trust. What will you choose? The message is clear. Keep going. Your breakthrough is coming. And when it arrives, you'll understand why everything had to happen exactly the way it did. You'll see that nothing was wasted. You'll realize that every detour was actually the path. So take a deep breath, release the anxiety, let go of the timeline, trust the process, and listen carefully because God is speaking, and He has something beautiful to say.